Hey up and welcome back to Football Manager 2024, back with a Journeyman, here with Yeovil Town. We've got a lot to go through. We are in November 28th and there's, as you can see by the transfers, a lot of transfers to go through, a lot of stuff. We've got a lot to talk about. With the game we've got today is going to be the McDons in the FA Cup second round. So, let's get into transfers, and then we can go into everything else. Okay, so last time we left off was... So, the last episode, we played Swindon, and it was the first game of the season. That was the first. So, we'll just go to the outs. Leaf Bythway was the out. He chose to go to Derby, so it's 100 grand up front, and then 100 grand in bonuses. He's over there. He's barely featured. We tried to get him on loan. He turned us down. So, yeah. Transfers in, there's been a lot. So we'll start with Luke Barnes. We got Luke Barnes in from Brentford. He's a young striker. Came in. We're looking at loaning him out, but there's not been too much interest in him. He's not quite ready for first team football. So yeah, that's Luke Barnes. We then brought in Kian Jenkins from our parent club on loan. He came in as a squad player left back. He has barely featured, as you can see. He hasn't actually made a league appearance for us. He's just not been the right move for us. Loan ends in January. It's for the best. We then brought in Aidan Haddo from Swansea, a Scottish centre midfielder. As you can see, he's made a lot of sub appearances, couple of starts. He's been doing better, and he's been playing more lately. We'll get into all of that. But he's done all right since he came in. We then brought in Trey Ogunsiyi on loan from Sunderland. He also finishes in January. Came in as a striker. 3 goals in 10 games. He's been okay. He's not been the Carbo replacement we needed. We then brought in DiMaggio Wright Phillips. We had an issue where Callan was injured and I think Beckham got injured. And we were really struggling on the wings. The fact that he could play on the left, I was like, do you know what? We'll bring him in. He can kind of rotate there. 10 appearances, 5 off the bench, 5 starts, 1 assist. Hasn't worked out. He's missed a lot of big chances. We then brought in Luca Ashby-Hammond. He's come in as a backup goalkeeper. He's made 2 appearances in the FA Cup. He's an okay backup goalkeeper. I'm quite happy for him to stay next season as the backup if we can get him to agree on another small contract. But yeah, he does what he needs to do. We then brought in Alex Bryn from Blyth for 2k. He's a left back and we want him to go out on loan. He's just not there yet, but he's also 6'5". You know how we like a big, tall boy in this squad. Brought in Fenton John from Blyth as well. He's come in. I brought him in to play the attacking midfield role. Not really featured yet. It's been difficult. He's had a few injuries as well. It looks like pretty poor business by us. Brought in Suleiman Abbas. We knew nothing about him when we bid on him. Brought him in to play that role, and he just hasn't featured. All his games have been non-competitive. All been under 18 football for us. Dagenham are unhappy. We're unhappy. His loan ends at the end of the season. I imagine he'll be recalled at the end of the year. Brought in Julian Donnery. We had a period where Beckham just wasn't producing from the left. And Callan has been performing better than anyone else on that right side. And I was like, do you know what? I think part of it is the fact that our left back is playing as a third centre back, and then our left mid is cutting in, and we've got no width down that left side. So I was like, let's go and sign us a left midfielder. So we brought Julian Donnery in on loan. He's on loan till the end of the season. He is 6'4" and he can cross. Made a couple appearances. He wasn't great when he played. We then brought in Remy Stonell on a free. He's about to go out on loan. Comes in as a centre midfielder. Long term, I think he could be decent. We'll have to see what happens there. We then had an issue with the fact that Jordan Jones has 3 goals in 17 games and 3 goals from Trey. And then Carbo came back, got a few goals, then got injured again. I was like, okay, clearly we need another Carbo type striker. We need that big guy that wingers that whipping these fantastic balls can get on the end of. So we signed Cole Hudlin. He was available on a free. He's 6'9". Don't get me wrong, He's nothing special. And he's got 3 goals from a 1.69 XG. Some of the chances he's missed or that have been saved have been outrageous. But he gives us that good backup to Cargbo. And then finally, we've just brought in J Ben. We'll get onto the reasons behind J Ben coming in. As I said, there's a lot to talk about. We had him when we were at Sully Hall, and he was fantastic for us at Sully Hall. He spent 2 years at Lincoln not playing, not having a loan, so we brought him in, hoping that something good comes out of him. We also have a transfer coming through in Glenn O'Neill. We've got him on a free, chose not to re-sign with Sligo Rovers. He's made 61 appearances for him. He's going to come in as our new anchor / halfback because we're kind of playing a halfback a lot of the time now. And defensively, he's very good. His first touch and passing could do with improving. But I think as a centre defensive midfielder, that can work because we're having some big issues with our squad. Tactically, we're now playing a halfback and we've switched to a wing back. We've had a lot of job interviews. We've been offered one job. There is a job that could be offered to us soon, but we've been turned down by Stoke, Hull, Coventry, Wrexham. We got offered the job at Burton, and we're just going to switch to Burton. I was very much, yes, I'm taking this Burton job. This is their squad. It's too small. There's just not enough players here. It's just not. There's not enough there. So we decided to turn down the Burton job, and we're currently the favourite for the Exeter job. We were last time I checked. Let's just make sure. Exeter. Yeah, look, we're favourite. The Exeter job came up. We haven't applied for it, and I don't think I want to take the job because they are very much in the same position as Burton. As Burton. And that is they just do not have enough players. But the fact that we're getting these job interviews coming in the Championship and higher League One teams has got me feeling optimistic that we could move on and jump a couple of leagues. But I suppose we should probably have a look at the league. And as you can see, we are not having a good season. We are currently 9th in the league. We are 13 points off of top of the table, York. If we have a look we'll go through the schedule and we'll kind of quick fire this. So we were here. So we beat Halifax 1-0. We then lost 3-0 to York. We drew 1-0 with Scunthorpe. Lost 2-0 to Rochdale. Beat Altrincham. Conceded a 90 plus 2 goal against Solihull to lose. Lost to Chesterfield. Lost to Hartlepool. Beat Gateshead 4-3. Beat Southend 2-0. Win against Eastbourne Borough. Drew with Doncaster. Drew with Welling in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. And then beat him on the return. Lost to Maidstone. Beat Boreham Wood. Beat Torquay. Beat Cheltenham. Lost to Chester. Drew with Kidderminster. Beat Newport. Beat Barnet. Drew with Barrow. And now we're here with the MK Dons. We are just dropping a lot of points. And if you go to competitions and we do the usual look at this and then we go, it's team stats. We know what the problem is, and it's quite clear what the problem is, and that is. So we've conceded 20. We expected 22 goals. We've conceded 26, and then expected goals underperformance. We've scored 6 less goals. We have not been able to score enough goals this season, and it's really hurting us because them games that, you'd get a 1-0 win. When you're not scoring, you can't. We're always going to give up chances. The way we play, we always give up chances. We're attacking. We're possession based. Mistakes are going to happen. There was a game that we played. I think it was the Maidstone game. We lost 1-0. Rose picked the ball up with his. The ball got played to Rose. He's at the edge of his area. He passed it to Sidic, who just walked away from it. He literally, the ball's played straight to him, and he just ignored it. And their striker had an empty net. We had a spell where Rose was coming under a lot of fire for his performances, and it wasn't a case of he was performing bad. We just couldn't. We weren't scoring, so we weren't able to kill off a game. So then when we were conceding a chance, they were good chances we were conceding. We've always conceded good chances. So that there's been a lot of anger, a lot of kind of depression. It's not depression, but we've felt pretty low this season. It's not been a great season for us. Coming up to the halfway point. So then I had to think, and I was split between being desperate to leave and being desperate to sort this out. I mean, if we just go to home and you look, Corey Callan is our top goal scorer with 5 goals in all competitions. He's got 4 in the league. Like, it's bad when you're 20 games into a season and your top goal scorer is on 5. So yeah, there was a lot of kind of, all right, shit's going down, we need to fix it. And I kind of went, all right, I see this going one of 2 ways. We're either going to get a new job by the end of the season, and we're going to go and manage in a higher league and get through the rest of the season, ready for the big rebuild in the summer, or we're going to get to the end of the season with Yeovil. I don't think, even if we fail to get playoffs, I don't think we're getting sacked. If we have a look at Club Vision, they're happy with us. They're disappointed, but like, we're doing everything else that we need to do. And I think because of the previous things we've done, if you look at Club Info, we are favoured personnel already. I think with what we've done at the club, they won't sack us. I think if we get to the end of the season with Yeovil, this may well end up being a long-term save with Yeovil, because I looked at the squad and I looked at the way that we're set up, and if we go to the squad planner, I've already kind of started putting in the work for next season. So next season, I'm really happy with Joe Rose, and I'm happy with Ashby Hammond as a backup. So that's fine. Right back, I want Ashcroft to stick around. The problem is, he has decided he wants to leave at the end of his contract. He's been fantastic for us. I'm a big fan of him, but I think realistically we have to plan for the long term without him, which is why J. Ben was signed. Lingy has not. He's barely played, and when he did play, he got an assist, but he also was the reason we conceded. Right centre-back, Ewan O'Connor is currently on loan at Dundalk. He comes back in a day or so, and as you can see, he's had a very successful loan. So successful, in fact, I think he comes back and is our first choice centre-back. I did a comparison of his stats compared to Jones, and he is better than Jones already. So I think, realistically, next season, he is our centre, or when he comes back, he is our centre-back. The left side is where we run into an issue, because I think Barrett is now kind of the first choice centre-back, and it means that these two will be backups. Jones is more just because he's got a contract till 2028. If an offer came in and we could get that £1,500 off the wage bill, I'm going to take it. Left back, I like Ollie Haste. I'm a big fan of Ollie Haste. However, playing Ollie Haste means we have to play that inverted fullback. And, well, yes, it's a great Wasset. With us not having a natural left midfielder, we are very weak down our left. And so Grant Foster has come in. We signed him from Newcastle in the summer. And I went, do you know what? This season is a bit of a write-off for us, because we're not going to win the league, and we all know what I'm like in playoffs. So I'm now going to start transitioning some of these younger players into the first team. So Grant Foster is now starting to get first team minutes. He's doing okay. He gives us more natural left wing back. Still got a lot of work to do. He's still not the finished article, but I think 6 months of him playing first team football could be good for us. Going into midfield and our Segunda Volante, Wes Jones. Wes Jones has come on leaps and bounds. Look at all of these arrows. He has gone from the start of the season being a 2.5-star player to he's now a 4-star player in this team. One of our best players. He's chipped in with a few goals. He's got an assist from Segunda Volante, and I'm a big fan of him. And I think he also went from £300 a week to £1,000 a week on a new contract. I think he is long term maybe captain. No, definitely not captain. He's got 6 leadership. But he's definitely a player that kind of the team could be built around. And then Sebastian Wassel is having a very good loan. Okay, his rating doesn't say that. I'm getting notification. I do the compile match reports for the loanees, and I think he's doing very well. I think next season he could be a squad player. This is the side we have an issue with. Because the obvious one is Sanga Ngoya. I don't feel like Sanga Ngoya has been particularly good for us. I think on paper he's a fantastic player. On the pitch, he's not been great. And I think Glenn O'Neill will come in and take that role from Sanga Ngoya, and he will be the mainstay. On the right, we are overloaded with quality right wingers. You know, you have the likes of Corey Callan, who they don't rate particularly well. You then have Robinson, who's coming in and doing well when he's playing. You know, he's got 2 goals from 7 games, 6 of which have been sub appearances. He's done all right when he plays. We're a big fan of him. And then Danish is also coming up leaps and bounds. It's a case of I don't know where he fits in. I'd really like him to have a loan, and there are some teams interested. I'd love for him to go to Maidenhead. On the left, we have Beckham for next season. And I think Beckham needs to be a rotation option because I don't think he's a weird player. If we look at his history, you know, like he's got a lot of assists in the 2 years, but I think we could get more from a more naturally left-sided player. So left wing is a massive position we're looking for. Attacking midfield, I don't know why there's so many players in here. Fitzgerald, I want to become the backup. I really do like Fitzgerald, but I also think that he's not the creative player we need. He is he's more of a Dele Alli than he is a Christian Eriksen. And I think we need a Christian Eriksen in this team because I think we don't really have a playmaker. And I'm debating on making that Segunda Volante role a deep line playmaker role. And then up front, we have Hamza Kargbo, who, look, 4 goals in 6 games since he come back from injury. Got another month-long injury. He's back now. His stats may not say he's the world beater that he has been for us, but 51 goals in 59 games says all you need to know. So let's get into this McDonald's game. He's passed his fitness test. I don't really care about the FA Cup for us. We need the money. I get that, but I also don't want to lose to McDonald's. So this will be your lineup. It's going to be Rose, Ashcroft, Barrett, Sidic, Foster, Senga and Goya, and Wes Jones, Robinson, Fitzgerald, Beckham, and Cargbo. And we get a nice big bench. So it's Ashby Hammond, Ben, Jones, Honorias, Haddo, Callan, Mark Baker, Cole Hudlin, and Asamuga. All right, first highlight here is with McDonald's. It's going to be knocked back here to Hassana. Oh, Fitzgerald, you should have got that. All right, Defern goes back to Lawrence, to Defern, goes here to Anchor, to Bala. All right, Robinson, you need to get over it. Ashcroft up against Lakilo. Cross whipped in. What a save by Rose. Foster not doing great there. Not covering himself in glory on his first live com that he's going to be part of. Issa Luna goes back to Harrison Hands, to Hassana. To Lakilo, to Burns, Sidic. Ball's drilled in, Sidic clears it again. Beckham's going to pick this up. It's gone along with it. Cargbo flicks it on, but this is one of the issues we have as well. Every now and then we'll have players that just lump the ball forwards. They put it over. We've given away a lot of penalties lately and a lot of questionable penalties. All right, Lakilo whips this in. How has he won that header, lads? There's 3 of you around him. How has he won that header? Lakilo whips this in. Ashcroft jumps and misses it, and he must give a call there to Cargbo. We've not started well. 29 minutes in, and it's another highlight for the McDonald's. Ball here. Singer and Goya does really well to Cargbo. Sees the ball round the corner to Robinson. Robinson, what is he doing? He gets the goal, but he ran in slow motion. Senga and Goya does really well to intercept that and then goes to Cargbo. Cargbo's pass is fantastic pass. And Robinson, look, he just slows down so much. He probably should square it to Fitzpatrick too, but he goes for goal, squeezes it in. And that's our first shot on target. Balladette. Foster does really well. Flicks the ball up to Cargbo. Cargbo holds it up really well and gets it out to Beckham. Beckham to Wes. Wes goes here to Sidic. Over the top to Fitzgerald. Oh, what a ball by Cardo Sidic. A guy that I think has probably run his course in regards to our team. And flings a great ball over the top. Fitzpatrick does really well. As I said, more of a Dele Alli than he is a Christian Eriksen. And then first time, half volley, near post, fantastic finish from the young Irishman. Senga and Goya. Back to Robinson. Robinson take on his man. Goes back here to Senga and Goya. Back to Robinson, who's gone for goal. And it's gone in with his weaker left foot. Great ball by Senga and Goya there. Just as I've been saying, I think he might have run his race in this team. He does fantastically well there. Robinson holds the ball up, just goes back here to Senga. Senga goes, all right, have it back. And Robinson then puts it onto his left. And he's not known for his left foot. And Harness gets a hand to it, but can't do enough to divert it away from hitting that side netting. There's question marks over and offside. Never. All right, free kick. Wes Jones has scored a couple of free kicks this year. Ooh, and Carbo heads over. We know that Carbo always takes a couple of games to get back into them scoring boots. Spreads it out here to Foster. And this is exactly what we needed. In here to Asamuga. Asamuga loses the ball. And we've been caught on the counter here. Oh, it's hit the bar and come out. It falls as far as Lecco drills it in. Foster gets it clear. Well done. Baker to Asamuga. Barrett does really well there. Haddo, good touch. Asamuga does well there. Foster does even better. Under pressure. Barrett spreads that lovely. Ben Robinson to Baker to Haddo. He's gone for goal and Harness tips it just ran a post. Cleared as far here as Isaluna, and that is full time. And it's got to be said, it was well deserved. And this is one of the frustrating things about us is we play games like this against McDonald's, and yes, it's probably not their strongest team. I don't know. I don't look at the McDonald's team, but why can we put in such strong performances here, and then in the league we're just poor? Big news coming out of the club is that I have been sent to go and do my Continental Pro license, which I think means I have to stay here for the year because otherwise it gets cancelled. At Yeovil, paying for my coaching course. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, so we just received 68 grand from that, which financially has just helped a lot because we were deep in it. Okay, so I'm not going to give we're going to be back for this game because I said we'd be back for these two games and then played like 2 months extra. What I will say is I will come back when we're either really fighting it in there or we've fallen apart completely. I think that we make this season a quick as possible season. I think that I said that in the last episode, and I said about splitting it into 5 episodes. I don't even think we do that. I think this season is a complete rebuild for us, and it's a case of we've gone, like, let's be fair. Let's look. If we just look at the transfers, it's been a bad year for me. Carragher's barely featured. Barrett started featuring. He's been poor. He's a youngster. He hasn't featured. He's been decent. Not done enough. Not done enough. As backup keeper. Youngster. Been injured the entire time. Not done enough. Not done enough. He's been okay, and I can put my hands up and say that we had an awful preseason in regards to rebuilding the squad, and we knew we needed to rebuild the squad because we let go of so many players. If we just, you look there, 12 players left the club, and yes, most of them were squad players, a few of them were first team players, but it was a case of 12 players left, and I was so disheartened about the playoff, about losing out the league and not getting promoted. I was just pushing space. It was just Spacebar Simulator at that point, and it's hurt us this season. And I know that. And I know that next season, if we're still at the club, we have to. Next season has to be the season we win the league. We have to, from the first game, just tear the league apart. And I'm already working on players to come in for next season. I'm already looking. I'm getting in loads of trialists now so that they're ready for the summer. If you look at scouting wise, we have a big transfer budget and still have a lot of money in wages. And yeah, I think this season is just it's a lull period. And it's completely my doing. But we need to make sure that we either have a really good second half of the season, preparing the team ready for next season, and we need to just walk this league. But that is going to be where we end the episode. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you hit that like button down below. All the support really does mean the world to me. Thank you very much. I have been Justin, and you have had just enough.